Hey guys, do you like my nails though? Do you like them? Do you think they're cute? They're like claws. I wanted them to look like claws because they're like gory guts and like things. I got them on Etsy. Anyways, hey, welcome in. Hi, how are you? We have some things to discuss. It's been a little while since I posted. If you're wondering what I've been up to, have I read a book? No, but I have been MCR5 truthing for a very long time. So very exciting news. I'm going to the show in Toronto. It's very exciting. This is not what the video is about, by the way. What are we here to do? You may be wondering that. Well, since moving into my apartment, which I'm currently living in, I moved in like 6 months ago, I have had only half of my book collection with me, and the other half was on my beautiful rotating bookshelf. So the other day I was like, you know what? I have been putting off moving the rest of my books and my bookshelf into this apartment for 7 months. This cannot go on. So I did lock in. Me and my dad lugged up the bookshelf. It was broken and all of my books are in bags. We are gonna reorganize my book collection and I'm gonna show you all of my books. I'm gonna talk about all my favorites. I'm just gonna, it's gonna be a more chatty book reorganization rather than just like doing like time lapses and stuff. Let me show you what we're working with, okay? Let's get into the video anyway. But yeah, welcome in, subscribe. I am always this chaotic. I'm so sorry. So first of all, I'm on my bed, right? Okay, bed, hi. Up here, we have this beautiful shelf, right? Who else is up here? None other than the Beatles. They watch me sleep, really great. But there's obviously, as you can see, there's some empty space here. I also have a random pile of mini Halloween Squishmallows. They've just been up there this whole time. I don't really want or care if they're on display. They're just kind of there. So I want to fill up this shelf and this shelf. I know the wallpaper on it is ugly. I'm going to cover it up eventually. It's just, it came like that, okay? This shelf, let me actually get up. This shelf has had my little Build-A-Bears on it. I love my Build-A-Bears. This is Susie Sue. As you can see, they are back there side by side and there's lots of room up there. So I do think I'm gonna move all these stuffies. Oh, and this is Korn with a K, named after best new metal band in the world. I'm gonna move these and put them on my bed because there's room right here. And then this shelf will be empty. I also have this little IKEA shelf that was on my old desk and I don't really know like what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I was thinking maybe depending on what books we put on this shelf, we could have more books on top, but we're gonna keep the Beatles on one of these shelves. I don't know where they're gonna go, but they need to be displayed because I love them. But I'm thinking for these two shelves, we're gonna do like authors that I have a lot of books of. And then of course, that's not all. We also have the rotating bookshelf. So yeah, it does rotate 360. It's got 4 little pockets and they fit about like 5 or 6 books. This is where all my books are. Okay, this is my vanity. All of these books that are stacked, they go all the way. But yeah, so those are all books that I've bought since moving in, or books that, but most of them are books that I brought with me when I first moved in. Then we have all these bags and this little stack right here. These bags are all the rest of the books that I just moved the other day. This is the before and this is the before. Oh, this giant ass fan is in the way. Sorry, I know it's so ugly. I'm sorry. Okay, we're on the floor. I'm sorry if this angle is bad or the lighting is weird. It's like, I feel like by the time this video is done, the sun is going to have set, but you know what, whatever. So I've got all the bags surrounding me, all the book stacks around me. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna take everything off the stacks and out of the bags. I'm gonna use my entire floor space to sort them because the bags are probably more sorted than the stacks if I'm being honest, but we'll see. I do have some books that I want to show you though. These are some books that I want to have displayed. A few months ago, oh my god, they're dusty. This book, I got this months ago, is one of my best reads of last year. The Poppy War. This is the collector's edition. They just released book 2 in the same edition and I have yet to read book 2. So these are, oh my gosh, wait, you can't see. There it is. These are gonna be read in a reading vlog. I'm gonna reread this and read this in a video sometime soon. You might hear me say that a lot. I have a lot of videos planned. I just don't know how soon they're gonna come out. But yeah, it's got the beautiful fire sprayed edges. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. It's got illustrations inside. It's so gorgeous. I'm so excited to reread this. And then this copy I just got last week, and it's just so gorgeous. It's got the water. It's just so nice. So I think these are gonna go on one of the long shelves, maybe like next to the Beatles, because they're just so beautiful. They're just so nice. Is the first book in the Game of Thrones series. Why is it bent? Wait, what the freak? But anyway, I'm kind of mad because this copy is so floppy and gorgeous. And I only bought the first one because I couldn't find the rest of them. Now I can't get the box set because I already have first one, but it's so floppy. Look at that. This is also probably gonna be in a video. We also have this, which I've had on my TBR. I bought this book 3 years ago and I still haven't read it, but you'll be able to see why. Yeah, 800 pages. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, we have Jasad Air. This was on Kindle Unlimited for like a month, and then it like blew up and I couldn't get it anymore. So I'm really glad that I have this. The second one just came out. So this is a new release, and I think it's a debut novel, A Song of Legends Lost. I got orange sprayed edges. Then we've got The Rage of Dragons. Haven't read this either. Then we have another special edition that I got last summer that I have not read. The Night Ends with Fire, and it's got, oh my God, I'm getting in the sun. It's got these gorge sprayed edges with little dragons on it, and it's just, look at that. Oh my God. Then we have, I can't believe I have not read this yet. The Hunger Games is literally my favorite thing ever. Favorite book, favorite movie, favorite everything. I had a Josh Hutcherson fan account not even 3 years ago. Okay, so it's crazy that I haven't read this. I did plan on rereading the original trilogy, which are right here. The plan was to reread the original trilogy and then read Ballad, which I have not read. I've seen the movie, but I've not read it. And then I was gonna read this. I got through Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and 3/4 of Mockingjay, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is emotionally ruining me. It's so over. It's so done. I can't do it. I can't stand this. Hijack PETA is ruining my life. So I put it away. I have like 50 pages left of this. I haven't touched it since like, I think my birthday in April, and I still haven't read this. So we need to get back on our Zoom. Anyway, these will go in their own pile. Let's open a bag. How about we open a bag? We've got one bag right here, right in front of me. That is, oh my God, it's heavy. It's from Shoppers Drug Mart. Oh my God, what did we get? Okay, so I think that this is part of my Rick Riordan collection. Yeah, so all of these bags are gonna have a lot of like childhood dystopians and fantasies and middle grade books. Boom! Oh, I thought I would be faster. Boom! 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 Okay, I gotta stop. I also don't have, this is Percy Jackson's Greek Gods. This is basically Greek god origin stories and stories from Greek legend, but told and explained by Percy. So he like narrates them. There's also illustrations in it. Look at this one. This is the picture that made me fall in love with Persephone. Persephone's my favorite. Persephone's my favorite goddess. There's also a Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes that has the same thing, but like demigod stories like Hercules and all that, but I never got it, so I've never read that one. But we're gonna have a Riordan pile, okay? This is my petition to get you to subscribe because I am going to be rereading at least the original Percy Jackson series, the first 5 books. I know now that this series itself has been expanded, and of course there's other series in the universe. The original 5 books I'm going to be reading in a video, but we do have the original Percy Jackson series. These are my copies that I read when I was 10 years old. This copy is just so special to me. Like, I've read it like 3 or 4 times. The Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse. This was my favorite book cover ever for like years. The Battle of the Labyrinth, The Last Olympian. And then we have, what else is in this pile? Oh my God, fun fact, when this book came out, The Trials of Apollo book 1, I had a 50-something photo shoot with this book in my house. I begged my parents for about 12 hours straight to take me to the bookstore because it was the release day of this book. I ran to the bookstore, ran inside, saw the stand, got the book, came home, and took like 50 to 100 pictures of this book at different angles. I took the dust jacket off and held it up in front of the window. I took pictures with plants. It was ridiculous. This is book 2, The Dark Prophecy. First book is The Hidden Oracle. Oh wait, we've got some randos in here. Got some randos. This is a book from my childhood. Every Catholic girlie knows this one. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Classic. This is a classic for when you grow up and go to middle school and realize you're gay. Aristotle and Dante discovered the secrets of the universe. This book changed my life. Don't remember a single thing about it. Okay, we've got some more Riordan verse. We've got, yeah, also I only have the first two, no, I have the first 3. Where's the other one? I only have the first 3 Trials of Apollo books, and I've only read the first 2. This is Magnus Chase. This is the Norse mythology series from the Riordan verse. The Sword of Summer, the Hammer of Thor, and the Ship of the Dead. One bag down. Let's go back to the stacks. When I was a kid, much like many autistic gay people, I read the Warrior Cats books. None of my libraries had a good collection of them. I had a very small collection of Warrior Cats books, but I always dreamed of having every single book. I recently this year went on Thrift Books and bought the original Warrior Cats series, and I actually reread Into the Wild, which is the first ever Warrior Cats book. So this is the first series, The Prophecies Begin. This is The Prophecies Begin, and there's 6 books. So there's Into the Wild, Fire and Ice, Forest of Secrets, Rising Storm, A Dangerous Path, and The Darkest Hour. Then we also have another book series that I repurchased. I never read this series when the dystopian craze was big, but we have The Maze Runner. I really have always wanted to read these. I think there's an original trilogy and 2 standalones. I only have one of the standalones. So I have The Maze Runner, The Scourge Trials. If these are in the wrong order, I don't know, I'm sorry. The Death Cure, and The Kill Order. Everything's pretty unorganized now. This is one of my favorite series of all time. If you want me to do a video on my favorite series of all time, let me know. This is one of them. And that is Emily Wilde. Encyclopedia of Fairies is the first one. Beautiful book. This is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, which is book 2. And this is the third one, which I have not read yet. It came out earlier this year. It's Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Such a good adult fantasy series. It's funny, it's sweet, it's cute. It'll have you kicking your feet and giggling and cackling like a weird little witch person. Let's open another bag, okay? This bag primarily has, I think it only has, my copies of A Series of Unfortunate Events. I never read these when I was a little kid, but I got them in middle school. And I also don't have all of them. There's 13 of them, and I have, I think, 11. And not all of them are in this beautiful hardcover, because I got all of them secondhand. The Bad Beginning. We have The Reptile Room. We have The Wide Window. The Miserable Mill, The Austere Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, and look at how floppy this one is. Like, I know I wanted them all hardcover, but I can't complain with that. The Slippery Slope, and The Grim Grotto. This is book 11, so there's 2 more that I don't have, and I don't think I ever read this one. I think I read up to number 10. We also have in this bag another Tumblr. If you were on Tumblr in 2016 to 2017, or maybe even earlier, when everybody was reading The Fault in Our Stars, it was a time to be alive. So I have The Fault in Our Stars, and I don't have a huge John Green collection. I just have Paper Towns as well, and then I have Turtles All the Way Down. Let's get some of these, some other favorite series. There's a lot of mismatched series in here. So we have The Cruel Prince, my annotated copy from 2021. Then we have a book I have not read. I've owned this for like 3 years, but I've never read it. Renegades. I read some of her other books, which we'll get to because I own them. But should we do a TBR shelf? I feel like we might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many there are. This is also really exciting. This is my cloth-bound classic copy of Dracula, and I have not read Dracula. I've wanted to get into classics just in general since like 2022 or 2023, and I'm obsessed with Nosferatu, so I wanted to start with Dracula. Gorgeous edition. I'm very excited to read this. I think I'm gonna save it for spooky time, but that's very soon. So I'm gonna put this, maybe I'll put all the books I haven't read that I don't know where I'm gonna put in one pile for now, because I don't know where I'm gonna put Renegades yet either. So I'll just put those in a pile. Okay, we have some random, oh, these are some books I haven't read. We have Fear the Flames. We also have A Language of Dragons. This is 1920s London, 1930s, 1923 London, and dragons. That's all I needed to know, okay? So we've got, The Fragile Threads of Power. This is a spin-off of A Dark Shade of Magic, which is a really great fantasy series. We also have All This Twisted Glory by Tara Mafi. I have read the first 2 books in this, but I never read this one because I was scared, because in book 2, I didn't like the direction the romance was going in and I was scared. But I think this is concluding, so I might reread the first 2. I read both of the first 2 books in I read this in one day and this in one day. So I think I could pretty easily reread. What else do we have? We have one of my favorite new YA fantasies. We have Legendborn. This is the first book. It's amazing Arthurian retelling. Book 2, which I've also read, came out in 2023, and that's Bloodmarked. And then at the beginning of this year, Oathbound came out, which this is a massive, massive, massive book. I have not read this one. I want to reread the other 2. This is another book I haven't read. I was a big Chloe Gong fan when she first debuted with These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends, and then she just started publishing kind of at the speed of light. So I am really behind now. She's published 6 books in 3 years, and so I just am really confused. So this is the sequel to Foul Lady Fortune. It's Foul Heart Huntsman. This is the second book in a duology that is in turn the second series in the Secret Shanghai universe. It's very confusing. What else do we got? We've got my beloved. Leigh Bardugo is my favorite author. Six of Crows is everything to me. So the Grishaverse is probably my favorite fantasy universe ever. Right up there with the Mortal Instruments, which you can't say that. Oh my god, my nail's coming off. King of Scars. Look at all that. Speak of the Devil. Shadow and Bone. This is the first book in the Grishaverse. Why are they all out of order? We've got Six of Crows. Best book ever. What else do we got? We've got some of the Caraval series. We've got book 2, Legendary. These are all tabbed, and Finale. Some of my favorite YA fantasies of the last couple of years that I've read. We've got the rest of The Cruel Prince. See, we're getting somewhere. We're connecting everything. We've got The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing. Yeah, this is one of my favorite series of all time, not just YA series, one of my favorite series, Once Upon a Broken Heart. You and me, we've been through a lot. Then we've got the special edition, Indigo exclusive of The Ballad of Never After. And so the actual book looks like a fairy tale history book thing. From the series. This book ruined my life. Possibly the most disappointing book for me in recent years, at least sequel-wise. A Curse for True Love. This is also the special edition. It's another storybook from the series. This is Furyborn. This is the first book in Imperium trilogy. This series is awesome. Really, really great YA fantasy. Another great YA fantasy, and an author that I really want to read more of, Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. This is a spin-off series to the Remnant Chronicles, which starts with The Kiss of Deception. This series is really great. Here's something fun. If you guys like comic books or Gerard Way, or both, this is the director's cut of the first issue of Doom Patrol, which is one of his comic series that he co-wrote and co-created. So it has his script for the series. It's got a play-by-play script with notes on it, and then it also has his original drawings and stuff. I gotta clear out the way actually, because I'm kind of surrounded by books. I can't reach anything. I hope the lighting is okay. I had to switch angles because my phone was about to die. So I moved all the books that I showed you earlier. Well, most of them. The ones that are unsorted are next to me. So let me show you the rest of my books. We have The Heroes of Olympus. This book has been through the ringer. Fun fact, it has a piece taken off of it because I actually got this for Christmas for my grandmother and she wrapped it and the gift wrap took it off. And also look at how beat up it is. The Heroes of Olympus, this is what you're supposed to read after Percy Jackson. There's 5 books. So we start with The Lost Hero. And then we have The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, and my favorites, The House of Hades, The Blood of Olympus. And then we have, so those ones bring in the Roman god mythology, as well as the Greek mythology. And then if you read The Red Pyramid, this is the first book in the Kane Chronicles, which is a trilogy that is pretty much exclusive from Percy Jackson. It doesn't really connect much. And yeah, so it's a trilogy about Egyptian mythology. So we've got the Red Pyramid, the Throne of Fire, and the Serpent Shadow. I have dust in my eyeball. Oh, and also at the bottom of this bag is the other Trials of Apollo book that I was talking about. So I haven't read this one. There's 2 more books in this series, I believe, but I don't own them yet. So when I get to that point in my reread, I will probably buy them. Don't worry, we have another all-expansive YA fantasy series to show you. But first, let's get this out of the way. We have some of my books from my 1 semester in university that I did before I gave up. Animal Farm. I also had to read The Hobbit. I do want to read this entire series eventually. Another school book I had was Blackwater. We have in here, we've got kind of randos in here, I'm not gonna lie. We've got the Dark Artifices series, which is a trilogy, the most recent, no, it's not the most recent trilogy, get a grip. So you're supposed to read, if you're wondering, quick guide, you read the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices in tandem. That's how I did it, but if you don't want to read in tandem, read the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, the Dark Artifices, and then the Last Hours. So we have the Dark Artifices trilogy, which is Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and the gargantuan 900-page Queen of Shadows, which I read in 3 days. If you don't know, Cassandra Clare, by the way, if you don't know what the Mortal Instruments is, if that means nothing to you, I don't know where you've been. I don't feel like explaining it to you, so I'm sorry about that. Then we have my favorite series in the entire universe, which is the Infernal Devices. We have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, which is a first edition, and I have the first edition of Clockwork Princess and the Dust Jacket, a family tree of all of the characters in every single series. And then we have the Last Hour series, which once again, I bought the paperback because it was cheaper and I wanted to buy more books. So this is the first book, Chain of Gold. The collector's first editions of the rest that have illustrations. This is Chain of Iron, the incredibly disappointing latest entry, Chain of Thorns. There are still, but don't worry guys, that's not all the Cassandra Clare I have. There's a whole other series I can't find right now. This is another series that I highly, highly recommend. This is a YA sci-fi dystopian series, which not many books fit that description, so you might have a guess as to what I'm about to hold up. It is the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. This is the first book, Scythe. This series changed my life. It's literally one of the best series I've ever read. It's not a favorite of all time, but it's probably one of the most well-written and interesting and thought-provoking books I've ever read. We have Scythe, and we have Thunderhead, and we have The Toll. And then we got a collection of novellas a few years ago, a little while after the series concluded, which is Gleanings. So this was really cute as well. We have another dystopian YA series from the early 2000s, the Legend trilogy. This is a really good trilogy. I read it when I first got back into reading in high school. Prodigy, Champion. Those are gonna go with the Arc of a Scythe because I think I could do like a good dystopian section. The cats are loving all this. Also at the bottom of this pile, at the bottom of this bag, we have a copy of The Book Thief. No, I have to show you this. This is so cute. So I'm surrounded by books. And over here, we have Miss Kitty, who has put herself away inside this bag. And over here, we have Mr. Boots, who is currently surveying the situation in Fear and Terror. Oh my God, this one is so heavy. Miscellaneous stuff. We have If You Could See the Sun by Anne Liang, A Venom Dark and Sweet. This is the sequel to A Magic Steeped in Poison. A little duology here. We've got Six Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise, which I didn't like. I wasn't obsessed, but it was very cute. It by Stephen King. This is the only Stephen King book I've ever read. And considering I own a physical copy, you're probably thinking, oh, you must have used this physical copy to read the book. No, I read the entirety of It by Stephen King on my phone. 1,100 pages in bed on my iPhone. Don't know why I did that, but I do own the book. I would really like a better cover. Yeah, and at the bottom of this pile, we have my very small comic book collection. I was very obsessed with Marvel in middle school. I still love Marvel, but I was very, very obsessed with the MCU in middle school. So I bought a volume for each of my favorite characters. I don't know why I didn't buy an Iron Man one because my 3 favorite characters in the MCU and in Marvel have always been Loki, Star-Lord, and Iron Man. I would say now it's more like Iron Man and Loki because Chris Pratt, I don't feel good about that. But yeah, Iron Man and Loki are my favorites. I also, in Marvel Rivals, play Rocket Raccoon, and I love him very much. So I just love the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're amazing. So I got one Loki comic. I got Vote Loki. Still have never read this. But I do want to get into comics and manga, so one day. That's why I brought it with me, because I thought maybe one day. And I got Legendary Star-Lord, Face It, I Rule, Volume 1. I also had to read a comic book in university in that one semester I told you about, and it was a Shuri comic book. What is it called? The Search for Black Panther. If you haven't clued in by now, My Chemical Romance kind of runs my life. And if you didn't know, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, is a comic book artist. And he created many things, one being Doom Patrol, like I showed you, but also he created The Umbrella Academy, which has a Netflix show, and it's my favorite show ever, and I love it so much. So for Christmas, I got the first 3 volumes in The Umbrella Academy. There is now going to be a 4th volume coming out, or I think there already was. There's a few that I'm missing, and it's got all 3 volumes of them. I have read the first 2. We have the first one, which is Apocalypse Suite, and we have Dallas, and we have Hotel Oblivion. The moral of the story is if Gerard Way's name is somewhere on it, it will be my favorite thing ever. Let's cut to a time lapse of me putting all the books on the spinning bookshelf. Hi folks, it's been a week since I filmed the bulk of this video. You know, I had to work, I had to blah, 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 and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then Ozzy Osbourne died, and that has been really, yeah. That's actually, if you can see right there on my TV, I'm watching the Osbournes. I'm on season 2. So, yeah, so that was yesterday. Yesterday I was like, I should film the end of this video and get to editing. And then it was about 3 o'clock. I was drinking my Alani. I was like, okay, we're about to film. And then I opened my phone. Ozzy Osbourne dead at 76. You can probably see in the background that we've got some organization going on. Here's the finished product. Okay, this is me introducing it. I'm sorry that I am bad at introducing it. This is what it looks like for now, okay? Let's take a look. Okay, everyone ignore the pile of laundry. Here we are. We've got, wait, this is kind of dirty. Okay, oh, that's better. Okay, so let's do some pans. We've got ba ba da ba 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 ba. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Wow, that's so nice. Look at all those books. Let's start over here. We have, this is my bed. Hey guys, what's going on? We obviously have the Beatles. I don't know why Ringo's like leaning forward like he just saw someone get shot. Oh, sorry, wait, wrong choice of words. Okay, anyway. Sorry, hurt my own feelings with that one. So these books here are my TBR. So there are more books on my shelf that I haven't read that are on this shelf, okay? But they're part of a series that I have all the books for, so I put them with their series, but they have not been read. So I will point those out to you, but these are all the books that I own that I have not read. I just wanna say I have read The Poppy War. I'm doing a reread for a video, okay? And then we go over here. We've got all my Cassandra Clare books. If you don't know Cassandra Clare, consider yourself lucky. You probably had friends in middle school, I don't know. But we've got The Mortal Instruments, The Infernal Devices, these 2 and this one. Oop. These 2 and this one are The Last Hours. And then these 3 white ones are The Dark Artifices. First of all, I found this the other day when I was cleaning. My When We're Young Fest bracelet, I kept it. This is the festival that I went to last year where I saw My Chemical Romance, so very, very special. But from here to there is my Rick Riordan collection. As I said, I don't have all of his books, all of the Riordan verse books, but we have Percy Jackson's Greek God. This is the Blood of Olympus. These three, this is 3, 2, 1. I put them that way just because the hardcovers. This is the Kane Chronicles. This is the Magnus Chase series. And then these are the first 3 books in the Trials of Apollo. I also just put these here. This is a middle school favorite, okay? This book actually is what got me back into reading. When this book came out, I hadn't read an actual book for like 2 or 3 years. I had just been reading fan fiction. Sorry to expose myself. Then we have all of that. Okay, like I said, there's some random shelves, or there's some random stacks. So down here, this is just books that I couldn't find a place where they would fit. Up top here, these are just some random books that I didn't know where to put. So most of them are from, I think all of them except for Page Boy, obviously, are from a university reading list. So then we have the bookshelf as we know it. I tried to do on this side, I tried to do like some of my favorite books and authors. So obviously up here we had to put the Hunger Games because this is like my favorite thing ever. Down here we have Ninth House, which is, I have not finished the series or read Hellbent, and there's going to be another book as well. So I really think this is going to be a favorite series, but I don't know yet because it's not done yet. This is my second favorite series, very close second. This is another favorite series. The third book in the series I have not read yet. Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. This is a cute little duology. It's not a favorite, but I just put it here. The Raven Cycle series. This is one of my top favorites. My V. Schwab shelf. So this is Darker Shade of Magic, and then the Vicious duology. And then down here, this is where my Warrior Cats books are. There's a few missing because I'm reading them for video. And then we have The Hobbit and The Giver. Spin her around. Ooh. This is Five Broken Blades. I just put it this way because it's gorgeous. Arc of a Scythe. Legendborn. I haven't read this. Foul Lady Fortune, Shadow and Bone trilogy, Cruel Prince trilogy, or Folk of the Air trilogy, sorry. This is the Once More Broken Heart trilogy, first 2 books in the Secret Shanghai universe. And then we have Blood Like Magic, Graceling, Furyborn. These are all first books in series. And then the Dance of Thieves duology. So let's do another spin. Yes, it is completely full, by the way. Every single shelf is completely full. So there are a lot of books on here that I think I'm gonna get rid of, because there are a lot of series that I'm not going to be continuing. So some of these books I'm just going to like skip right past, okay? We have the Stolen Air duology, which is a sequel to the Folk of the Air. This is a Folk of the Air companion novel. Wolf Wolves and King of Scars. This is another Grishaverse duology. My fourth wing book's probably getting rid of these. Winter, which is the 4th book in this series, the Lunar Chronicles. I just put it there because it's a hardcover. And then we have the Red Rising trilogy. I am getting rid of this. And then we have The Maze Runner and Legend. And then all my series of unfortunate events books. And then one final spin. Now this is the side that has the most books that I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is like, I guess, a rom-com shelf, except this little guy is here and he's not a rom-com. He's a devastating, traumatic episode. We have Funny Story, Happy Place, Book Lovers, and Beach Read. Those are all the Emily Henry books that I've read. Perks of Being a Wallflower, also The Dead Romantics. Probably gonna get rid of this. Better Than the Movies, probably gonna get rid of that too. Then we have the first 5 books in the Throne of Glass series. I'm probably getting rid of these. These are some older books from middle school. So Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Fangirl. Anxious People. Well, this is from a little more recently, but yeah. The Book Thief and Belladonna, which I don't know if I'm going to continue this series. I read this in one day, and it was pretty awesome, but I don't know if/when I'm gonna finish the series. Then we have a few hardcovers. We have If You Could See the Sun. This is Anne Liang's debut. I know she's kind of like a popular booktok author now. I haven't read any of her other books, but that is her debut. And then A Venom Dark and Sweet, which is the sequel to A Magic Steeped in Poison. Yeah, probably getting rid of that. 6 Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise is a little duology. I think there's another book now, but it was originally a duology. This Woven Kingdom, and then we have down here, we have the Powerless series. I will be getting rid of these, but I did annotate them, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. And then we have my John Green books, so The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the Way Down, and Paper Towns. So that's it. Let's twist her back over. That's it. That is the bookshelf organization and tour and all the books that I own. I hope you enjoyed. I will be making more videos. I'm sorry for not being as consistent as I promised. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a friend. Yeah,